What of the two, or who of the two would you rather work with? One, a person who is poor, but they are a person of integrity. That means they don't keep on changing as the times change. What they promise to do, they will do it. When they give you a report, it's an integral report. It's a truthful report. On the other hand, you have a person who's wealthy. They look like they're influential. They have everything going on for them. But they're a person who is not of integrity. Every time they're speaking something, you're wondering, is that true or not? So which one of the two would you rather? I hope you said a poor person full of integrity. Because the book of Proverbs 19 verse 1 says that better is the poor who walks in his integrity than one who is perverse in his lips and is a fool. That's huge, but that's what it is. My name is Steve. You can call me Steve the Rev, here with the proverb of the day for you. You see, I share with you daily a proverb, just a verse, so that you can go back and read the whole chapter. I'm just inspiring. Let's just say I'm on your team, and your team is a winning team, at least from my understanding, because if you're watching this, you must be a winner. Now, by reading a proverb daily, that means you'll grow in wisdom. That's it. Do it daily, you'll grow in wisdom, your knowledge of God will increase, and you'll stand out from so many people. But that's just about it. Let's get into the gist of today. Today's proverb is Proverbs 19 verse 1, and it says, better is the poor who walks in his integrity than one who is perverse in his lips and is a fool. What a fool. Tell your neighbor, what a fool. The Amplified Version says that better is a poor man who walks in his integrity than a rich man who is twisted in his speech and is a short-sighted fool. I don't know whether we ever have a long-sighted fool. The Amplified Classic says, better is a poor man who walks in his integrity than a rich man who is perverse in his speech and is a self-confident fool. Pretty much the same. The CEV Contemporary English Version says that it's better to be poor and live right than to be a stupid liar. What a liar. The NLT says, better to be poor and honest than to be dishonest and a fool. Mercy. Let's wrap it up with the Passion Translation, which says, it's better to be honest, even if it leads to poverty, than to live as a dishonest fool. On any day, anyone would rather have someone that is a person of integrity. When you're a leader, that will be always one of the biggest temptations. To go with something that is very core at someone, which is integrity, versus going with something that is very outward, which is wealth or riches. You know, riches come and go. Yeah, the riches are here today, tomorrow they're no more. You'd rather have someone full of integrity when they're poor, because when they get wealthy, they'll still be a person of integrity. If a person is lying as a poor person, or sleeping around, or doing whatever they want when they're poor, when they get wealthy, it just makes it, what they're going to do is going to just be on a bigger, grandiose scale. It will be crazier than before. It will be better than any other thing you've experienced before. So that's it. It's as simple as that. There's so many stories that you may read about. I mean, I know it's like an agreement or a curse or a devil that keeps on following people within certain circles, politicians, people in leadership, not just politicians anyway, people in leadership, people who have a little bit of influence. You find that one of their biggest tricks is being a person of integrity. Sometimes when the money appears, your integrity goes out the window. You know, it's a very bad thing when you have a boss who's wealthy and they're perverse. Because the money will only worsen the perversion. If they like sleeping with young girls, underage girls, they will do it. On a bigger scale, after all, they can throw money to any of their needs. They can throw money to any of their perversions. We've seen Hollywood. Oof. Lots of stories. Just do a little Google search. It will not be little because any Google search is a Google search. But if you to do a Google search, you will see it. Executives, sleeping with their employees, telling people to sleep with them just so they can get a role in a movie, just so they can get a pay raise. That's what perversion does. I mean, that's what a lack of integrity does. But it's actually associated with being a fool. When you're wealthy and you are a fool, you're just on a grandiose scale of foolishness. Because once the money gets to your head, it will keep on directing you. Fools are never in charge of the money. The money is in charge of them. Fools never have control of the money controls them. On the other hand, when you have a poor person, but they're full of integrity, their integrity can open doors for them. Integrity opened the doors for Joseph. He was a poor man in a prison, but full of integrity. It earned him a promotion in the house of Potiphar. But just imagine if Potiphar's wife had access to another wealthy person who was a fool. One, he would be in that wealthy fool would be, or that rich fool would be in position of maybe buying another private house where they can take their woman, the extramarital affair, and sleep with a woman that side, right? But you have Joseph who can't do that. I mean, Joseph is like, I can't sin against my God. You know, integrity is as simple as who you are when everyone is watching is who you are when no one is watching. That's integrity. Will you take a bribe when someone is watching, or will you take a bribe when no one is watching? Will you sleep? Okay, when the lights are off and you're in a club, will you flirt with a woman who you're not married to? Or when you're not in a club, I mean, you're not flirting. When you're not in a club, you're not flirting. When you're in the club and it's dark and not so many people watching, you're flirting. When you travel out of the country, how do you behave? Do you go on a spree of stupidity and madness, or do you stay on a straight path? Who are you when no one is watching? I know I have a friend who used to, the family owned a hotel. But one of the things that this friend used to say is that different leaders, politicians would come to that hotel with their side chicks. Now, there are people who are willing to openly do it, and they know they are famous because you see them on TV. But sometimes what they would do is, because they have the money, they would pay for a hotel suite, but they would never be the ones to go to the hotel counter to check in. The girl goes, checks in, they simply move it. They just go to the room directly. Other people will travel out of the country to do that. Now imagine, going back to the story of Joseph. Joseph was a poor man, but he was a man of integrity. He was a man of integrity in Potiphar's house. He was a man of integrity in the prison that earned him a promotion before Pharaoh. He becomes the second most powerful person in the economy in the world at that time, because Egypt was the biggest economy at that point. How many promotions have you missed as a result of not being a person of integrity? In the moment it feels like all the people around you are making the money. They are constructing roads with substandard materials. You're building houses with substandard materials. But soon the word goes out that everything that you're building is failing. You're a fool. You didn't look further. You're short-sighted. But another person will build, and they'll build well. And soon word will go around. God favors the righteous people of integrity, rather than the fools. Never put your trust in money. There are some people who feel like they can just throw money at any problem. You're a fool. It's better for you to be, it's one thing for you to be abusive of people and you're throwing money at everything. You feel like money should be the reason why people respect you. But you can also just be kind. You know, when you feel like you can throw money at anything, then you're in trouble. Because you'll never have people who are truthful around you. You'll have liars, you have schemers, you have people just looking for the opportunity to steal from you. The people who have bosses who don't really care about humanity. They just care about, being, bribing their way through systems. They end up putting up businesses that are not, especially in the food industry, people who are not following the right manufacturing laws that enable people have a good product that doesn't compromise people's health. When you're that kind of person, the people around you will one day let go of you. The people around you will soon betray you because they see no truth in you. And word will soon go around. But when you're a person of integrity, people will fight for you, people will defend you, people will be there for you. And even if they are not there for you, God will be there for you. So to many of you, the temptation will be the money. But may you stay the course. You'd rather be poor, even when your workmates are getting all of these side monies, they're getting a kickback here and there. But then you're putting people's lives in danger. Because you see, when you make a road that is substandard, you're putting the road users at risk. When you build buildings and you're not using the right material, you're putting people's lives at risk. Do you think the prayers of the people, when lives are lost, do you feel like those prayers will be in favor of you? They will be against you. So dear friend, a temptation may be huge, but you'd rather be a person of integrity than a wealthy person who's a senseless fool, who doesn't have wisdom, simply because you're following money. Now, if you're the kind of person who has just listened to this video and you really feel like you fall under the category of the fool, of the person who trusts in money, of the person who doesn't consider being a person of integrity, I need you to make this decision, and right now. That is, follow Christ as your Lord and Savior. He will turn your story around. He will help you walk the path of righteousness so you can bring glory to His name. You don't have to live the life that you're living now, being a person that is truthless. People can't trust you. People can't buy what you're selling because they're always wondering, there should be something sinister about what you're selling. Just repeat this prayer after me and say, Dear Jesus, today I give you my heart. Take my life. Do something significant with it. I've made so many mistakes, but today I turn around. I choose to follow you. Enable me live a life of integrity. May I trust in you. May I never trust in riches. From today onwards, I declare that I'm born again. With that simple prayer, you've accepted Christ as your Lord and Savior. The next best thing you're going to do is go ahead and send a WhatsApp message or call this number, +256 775 642 449. The person on the other end of that line will be ready for you. But just go ahead and let them know, hey, Steve the Rev, STR, has asked me to come here. I've just given my life to Christ. What do I do next? And they will take you down the journey of what you need to do next. That's all you have to do. Now, you can also go to the link in the description. Right there, I put a link for you. If you just tap on that link, it will take you straight to the WhatsApp chat of the line I read to you. Now, with no further ado, if you've not yet read the whole chapter today, go ahead and read it. And go ahead and share this with someone else who needs it. All of your people, all of your conduct. Bye-bye. I love you. See you on the next one. Remember, I'm on your team, the winning team.